Okay, good afternoon, I believe. So, I am not going to be doing the Proverbs series as a YouTube only thing. I'm going to be doing it both on Instagram and YouTube. Okay, so I am still going to share these Instagram videos on YouTube. I'm not going to do it separately. So, today starts day one. I know day one was supposed to be yesterday. Didn't happen the way I planned for it. So, Proverbs 1. And I hope that you ask the Lord for wisdom, because Proverbs is a very interesting book. It was written by the most wisest man in all of history besides Jesus. Besides Jesus, Solomon was the most wisest guy in all of history. So, it starts off like this, the book of Proverbs. Verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. I don't even know what that word means. To give, I think that's subtlety. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. I'm just going to read the whole thing, okay? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief places of concourse. In the openings of the gates in the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and you refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But you have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. Ooh, that's a lot of, it's a lot of stake in there. So, this actually is a very interesting book. And while you guys are going to be understanding this and learning things, I'm going to be learning things too. Actually, I had a dictionary with me because we were going to go through this. But I guess I don't have it. It's probably downstairs. So, the beginning. So we're going to break it down. I'm not going to do verse by verse, but I'm going to do a gathering together of verses. We're going to explain that going down. So you got verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity. So right now, it seems as if he's really stressing the fact that you need knowledge. He's stressing the fact you need to know these things. He's basically saying to know this, to know these things. So, And then you got verse 5. It says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Saying, like, if this is somebody who's already wise, they hear more wisdom, they're going to, or no, a wise man will read this and their wisdom is going to grow. So if a wise man reads this, their wisdom is going to expand, their knowledge is going to expand, their capability of understanding is going to expand. Because if you're already wise, your capability of understanding is much greater. So I got my baby sister, Asher. So yeah, she's smart in her own way. I mean, she kind of has my savvy characteristics to whatever extent. She does do them to me too sometimes. She acts that way, but she's not wise as my other sister Abigail. My second to youngest sister Abigail, she's wiser than my baby sister. So Abigail is more capable of understanding and comprehending than Asher is, because Abigail's already wiser than her. So since Abigail's already wiser and smarter than her, she's capable of understanding more. She's capable of increasing in wisdom faster and to a much greater degree than my baby sister Asher. So that's an example of that. It says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. So if you understand things, you're gonna want wise counsel. You're gonna attain. You're gonna keep. You're gonna hold up to wise counsel. You're not gonna, if you're somebody who understands different laws, you're going to keep a higher level of honor or whatever. So, and you may say, well, Solomon was the wisest man and yet he did what he did. So we were to talk about this guy Solomon. So Solomon, you could say he was the wisest, dumbest person you know, because he was really, really, really wise, but he made some really dumb decisions. All that wisdom, and yet he did some of the most foolish things. And I did talk about in the last video Sunday what classifies a fool as a fool. If we were to just go with a basic level, a fool makes decisions now that are going to hurt him later. So I can make a decision, I don't feel like preaching. That's going to hurt me in the future. That's going to hurt me later, because the Lord, I have no doubt that he wants me to do this. And when I do get doubts, he's there to, like, he gives me different hints. He drops hints. He gives confirmation, like, this is really what I want you to do. And blessing, incentive is a way that he does that. So I'm like, Lord, should I be doing this? Like, yes, you should be doing that. Well, how do I know? Because he blesses me when I do that. So if you do something and you get a blessing for it, you're going to know, oh, well, I'm going to keep doing that. So when good behavior is rewarded, it makes you want to keep being good. When bad behavior is corrected, it makes you, okay, I don't want to do that anymore because I don't want that. So when I'm not preaching, I have problems. And when I am preaching, my problems aren't as big. At least they're not as problematic as I think they would be. So you got that. So Solomon, yes, he did make very foolish decisions, but he was a really wise guy. He was very wise. Very wise. And verse 6 says, to understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. So dark is usually in the Bible to illustrate bad. But this doesn't necessarily mean bad. They're dark sayings, dark as in you can't see, you can't understand, you can't comprehend, you can't see past. So yeah, okay, so you could say that Jesus' parables were as dark sayings, okay? Jesus' parables were as dark sayings because they're covered. It's like they're covered, they're hidden, obscure. I don't know if obscure is a synonym for that, but it's obscure, I think. You know, it's hidden. You can't see past it. It's dark. So in the dark, you can't see where you're going. But when there's light, you can see. So a parable, you could say that's one of Jesus' dark sayings, because he has to open up your eyes. He has to open up your ears in order for you to see and hear what he's really saying. So That's that. Dark sayings. And then you got the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. So, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, or the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So basically, that's saying, if you fear God, you have the basic foundations for you're a smart guy. You're a basically smart guy. At a basic level, you're a really smart person. Very, very smart. If you fear God. Because, I mean, if you don't fear God, then you're going to act crazy, and then God's going to have to just judge you in a very big, terrible way. But if you already fear Him, you're not going to do those things, which classifies you as a wise person. Because if you do things now that are going to benefit you in the future, you are classified, whether you're a sinner or whether you're saved, as a wise person. So ultimately, we know the sinners are fools. Ultimately. But there are some wise fools out there. So you got these people who own these really big companies. These really big companies, and you may say, okay, how did they get there? Because they're wise. They knew, okay, they may not have liked the homework. Like, man, I'm sick of doing this. I'm sick of sitting in school. I'm sick of this. But they kept going. And so now they have this going for themselves. And that's a carnal example, but it's true. It's true. If you stay in school, when you grow up, your life will be cool, If you stay in school, when you grow up, your life will be cool. So that's verse 7. So if you have basic level knowledge, which is the fear of God. So if you fear God, then you have basic level knowledge, which means you're smart. Okay, wow, you fear me, which means you're not going to make these decisions, and you're going to make these decisions, which is going to slingshot you into better decisions, into further wisdom. It's going to ricochet you into better decision making, more wisdom. And in verse 8, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. So it's basically saying, kids, listen to your parents. If your parent says do this, do it. Because they know. They're your forerunners. They've been here longer than you, so they know more. As time passes on, experience adds up, and wisdom adds up. That's why older people are most of the time more knowledgeable than the younger people. They have more experience. They've been through more. They've experienced this. So that's why, your parents, they probably made bad financial decisions at the beginning of their lives, or at the beginning of their adulthood. And since they know, okay, we did this, so we got to train our son or our daughter not to do that and make this decision. So they're generally wiser than you. You may be smarter than your mom because you can work a phone, you can do this, you can do that, and your mom can't. But generally, your mother, your father is much more wiser than you because they've been here longer, and experience teaches them. So you got that. And it says, verse 9, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. So, how the Bible says, I'll hide your word in my heart so that I don't sin against you. So chains, if the general meaning of chains, or what chains are used for is to bind someone, to keep them imprisoned to this. So chains about thy neck, like you're bound to obedience. It's ornaments of grace unto thy head. So it's not gruesome chains, like chains to really mess you up. These are chains that are going to help you. So that's why, you want to be a prisoner to the Lord, because if you're a prisoner to the Lord, that means you're like a slave to righteousness. So you can only do what's good. You can't do bad. And that's like everybody's thing. For people who say, I'm a prisoner to pornography, that's all you can do. You can't see past it. All you can do is think about it, watch it, try to do it to whatever extent, whatever you do. Because you're a prisoner to sin. So since you're a prisoner to sin, you're going to only be able to sin. All you can do is sin. You can only do that. But if you're a slave or a prisoner to Jesus, or a prisoner of righteousness, You're going to do only what Jesus says. And once God knows, okay, he's my prisoner now. He's a prisoner to righteousness. He's a slave to righteousness. Once God knows that, then he can literally tell you, hey, go do what you want to do, knowing that you're only going to do what he wants to do. And when he tells you that, do what you want to do, is because now you guys are starting to have joint thinking. So now what you think is what God has already thought. So you may have a thought, I want to go pray for that lady. That's God already thought that. So now you guys have the same mind. And that's a place that I'm trying to get to. Everybody wants to get to that place. Every Christian wants to be there, where you think God's thoughts, where you feel the way God feels about stuff. So like, wow, I feel the way God feels. I think the thoughts that God thinks. Once you get hit there, you best better believe you're a sealed person. You have to be sealed. Like, for God to share his emotions with you. Like, I think the thoughts of God. Once you get there, it's like, man, you're good. You're good. You are good. So that's that. And then it goes into from like verse 10 to verse 19. For the next 9 verses, it's talking about not walking in the ways of sinners. And you may say, how do you know that? Well, actually, my Bible says it. Like, hold on, like right there. So I have headings for my Bible. So it says, walk not in the way of sinners. And that's basically what it says. Because verse 10, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent not. If you see this person, these kids over there, like they want to do this, don't do it. Don't do it. Consent not. If they want to entice you, hey, man, come on, it's going to be fun. Let's just do this. Let's go steal. Let's go do that. Let's go do this. Don't do it. Don't do it. If they say, come with us. Let us lay wait for blood. Let us go out and kill. Let's go kill some people. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause. Let's just go and beat up that old man. Take his stuff. Why? Let's just do it for nothing. Like, what? Without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. Let's destroy these people. Let's just wipe them out. Why? Why do you want to do that to them? Because you're evil. That's why. Because they're evil. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. And we're going to go and take their stuff. After we kill them, after we do this to them, we're going to take their stuff, and we're going to fill up our houses with riches and treasuries and stuff. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. Let us have one mind. Let's have one mind. Let's have one mind. Yes, one purse, as in, we all do this together. Let's have one mind. Let us all think the same about this. Come on, let's do this. All of us together. Put your mind into it. Let us all think the same. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path. Stay away from them. Don't follow them. Stay away from them. God has to do that to us. Stay away from those people, because these people are people that they do bad things. So if you have a child and you want your child, okay, I want my child to grow up and be this, that person lets their kids do that, so I'm going to keep my kids away. So if I'm not going to use me for an example, because I'm wholly given to the Lord. So let's say this person, Roger, if he's Christian, he wants his kids to grow up and go farther in Christianity than he's at right now. He's already far. He wants his kids to go farther. But he sees those kids are out there doing that, passing notes, doing this, doing that. Like, okay, I want my kid to stay away from those kids, because I don't want him to be influenced by them. So he's going to keep him away. Keep thy foot from their path. For their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Those kids are terrible children. They're rats. Their parents don't deal with them. Those kids are rats. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Now that verse, hold on, wait, I feel like the Lord's giving it to me. Okay, so hunters. So let's break this down. Verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. So when you're hunting, if you shoot the net and the bird sees the net, you just shot in vain, the bird can get away. Or if you're fishing and the fish, they can see what you're doing, you're not going to catch them. So So I'm trying to use context clues right here while waiting for the word of the Lord for this. Verse 18 says, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. And they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. Didn't I tell you this book is hard to understand? But since this is what the Lord wants me to do, He is going to give me the knowledge and the understanding. Even if it's later on. I may have to come back and tell you what verse 17 means. But, so you got that. It says, and they, so verse 18, I could say it ties in with 17 to whatever extent. So you got, it says they lay wait for their own blood. How do they lay wait for their own blood if they're out there killing other people? Because the wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. Death. So if you're out there killing people, you best better believe you're out there shedding your own blood. You're killing this person just so that you can be killed by the Lord in whatever way He decides to do it. So surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird. Like, what you're doing out there is vain, man. Like, you're out there taking things. Like, that's vain. Because all of that is going to be taken from you. All of that is going to be taken from you. The Lord is going to have all that taken from you. It's going to be taken from you. These people are out there watching. And they may be feeling like, wow, he can do bad and get away with it. So there's a sense of justice. So, me, when I'm on the road and I see a car zoom past us, like in Georgia, we're in Covington, Georgia. So it's only like you can either go this way or that way. But sometimes, if because it's hills, so you gotta really be careful. So a car may be coming up behind us and just zooms around us and goes. And there's no police officer. But if you see a police officer come and get that person, you're gonna, to whatever extent, feel good. So the Bible says, like basically, God has to reward the righteousness. He can't let sin keep going lest the righteous put forth. Oh, the lot of the wicked will not always. The rod of the wicked will not always rest on the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth his hand to sin. I don't know. I think is that in Proverbs? No, I don't know where it is, but I know that's in this Bible. I know that's in this Word. So God is not going to allow evil to happen continually without judging, because then the good people are going to feel like, wait, these people are doing that and they get good results. I'm doing this. I'm obeying God and I'm not seeing anything. And now they're going to want to do what they're doing. Like, I'm done with this Christian stuff then. I'm done following God. I'm going to go and do that. And so God's okay. I don't want that to happen. So the rod of the wicked will not always rest on the lot of the just or the righteous. He's not going to always. So when you see a guy speed around you and he doesn't get caught, it makes you want to like speed up too. Like, oh, well, if he can do it, I'm going to do it. He's going to get to this place much quicker. He's not being judged. But when you see somebody zoom around you and then get pulled over, that there's a sense of, yeah, that's what you get. Like that's just. That's that just part of you. We all have it because God is just. We were made in His image. So that's that part of justice. Like, okay, that was fulfilled. Like that justice right there. I feel it. That was fulfilled. So now you feel good. You like, oh, I'm happy I didn't follow that guy. I'm happy I didn't do it. So that's that. So verse 18, they lay wait for their own blood. Verse 17 and 18 is like tied up. Like you're out there waiting to kill that guy and take his stuff, but you don't even know that the Lord is doing the same thing to you because you're doing it. So basically, it's like you're doing it to yourself. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. So if you're a greedy person, I'm telling you, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. Because look, if you're greedy, you're going to take more. So if let's say you're a robber, right? Let's say you're a robber, or this person is a robber. And they go to the bank. They walk out with some money, but if they're greedy, like, I'm going to go back in and get more. Like, no. Keep what you got and leave. I mean, you going back in might be death for you. You going back in might be death. So if you're a greedy person, you're laying wait for your own blood. Because you're going to do things that's going to get you in trouble because of your greed. Because of your greed. And okay, so we got verse 20 to 33, which is about wisdom. Wisdom crying in the streets. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. So wisdom is looked at as a woman. Okay, but God is wise. God is wisdom. So I don't want to hear none of you blasphemers talking about, so God is a woman. The movie The Shack was right. God is a woman. God is not a woman. God is a man. God is male. You may say, well, there's no gender with God. Why does the Bible say he? But it calls wisdom she. And God is wisdom. That's still a mystery to Sam. That's still a mystery. So sometimes God talks as a woman. That's what that means. Sometimes God may talk as a woman. He may use this voice. But God is not a woman, okay? God is not a female. God is a male. Wisdom cries without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief places of concourse. I think that's the word, concourse. In the openings of the gates in the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. How long are you going to still act like that? How long? How long are you stupid people going to love acting stupid? Huh? How long? How long are you stupid people going to love the fact that you're just dumb? Like you're dumb. How long are you going to like being dumb? Do you want to be dumb forever? That's basically what she's saying. You may say, well, that's disrespectful. And verse 23 is saying, turn you at my reproof. Like, listen to me. Like, turn, repent, change, hearken unto me. Like, I'm here to help you. I'm here to correct you. I need you to listen. I need you to pay attention. I need you to change based off of the information that I am giving you. That's what it says. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. I'm going to give you wisdom. I'm going to help you understand what I'm saying. I'm going to make you wise. Because I have called you and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded it. Like, I've been calling. I've been trying to help. I've been making myself open for you. Like, I've been trying to help you. Like, and you don't want my help. So when your fear comes as desolation, and when your destruction comes as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then you will call unto me. You're going to ask me, and I'm not going to answer you. You're going to seek me early, and you're not going to find me. Like, those are words of Jesus. Like, Jesus is trying to get people. Jesus is like, come to me, come to me, come to me. And you're like, no, I don't want. So when he closes that, when the bridegroom closes that door, and you come, hey, wait. You're like, I don't know those people. I don't know you. I'm sorry, I don't know you. That's what's going to happen. And that's basically what wisdom is saying here. Because you hated knowledge and you didn't choose the fear of the Lord. So the Bible talks about this in, I don't remember, but it's in the New Testament. As much as these people didn't want to retain God in the knowledge, I believe it says he gave them up to vile affections. I'm going to have to find it. But he gave them up to vile affections. That's that reprobated mind. Because you want to act like that, I'm going to give you a reprobate mind. And we were talking about this on Sunday, I believe. Maybe even Friday. How it's clear. Based off of what, and Brother David said this, and when he first said it, to an extent, it made me remember something that I had seen. I saw a video. And in the video, it was basically about Lucifer's fall. And in the video, he was doing things, and Jesus, God, was coming up to him like, hey man, you need to stop thinking like that. And he didn't want to listen to God, and God would constantly do that. And then he kicked him out, because it says God is slow to anger. God doesn't get angry fast, so it's not like Lucifer just, and we're open for the correction of the Lord. If it did go, but based off of the word, it doesn't seem as if Lucifer or Satan did one thing and God just kicked him out, because the Bible says that Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, all the same, that he's slow to anger. He's filled with mercy. So it doesn't seem as if he did that. So he had to have kept doing it. And now he has a reprobate mind. You may say, how does the devil have a reprobate mind? Because he knows the Bible. He knows the end. Revelation is his ending. And this man is still going to try to fight against the Lord in the battle. He's still going to try to fight against God. Like you haven't been losing for the past what? The earth has been around for what? 6, 7, 8,000 years? And you've been losing every single time? And you're going to do it again? Like, what? What? So, you could say he has a reprobate mind. His mind is messed up. That guy's mind is jacked up. His mind is jacked up. Because he didn't want to listen to any of the Lord's reproof. He despised all of God's counsel. You know, he didn't want to listen. So now he's what he is today. For the turning, or therefore they shall eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. So now you're going to have to eat the fact that you did that. So now, okay, you didn't want to listen to me. So now your problem is going to be what you didn't want to listen to. So you didn't want to hearken unto me. You didn't want to, obey me. So your actions, you're going to have to eat your actions. You're going to have to live with the fact that you did not want to listen to me. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So the turning away of the simple shall slay them. That right there is like a big contradiction. It may seem like a big contradiction. Like, okay, but don't you want the simple to turn away? The turning away of the simple shall slay him. So for a fool to turn away from righteousness, like, at first I thought it was talking about if a fool turns from being foolish. No. It's talking about if a simple person, a simple-minded, a foolish person turns from wanting to hear what wisdom is trying to say, that's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. And the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Like, if you give that homeless guy $1 billion, yes, they say if you gave away $1 a second, you couldn't give away $1 billion in a lifetime. But you got this guy, you gave this homeless guy $1 billion. First of all, he's homeless because he's terrible with money. He'd run out of that money. It'll take some years, it'll take some time, but sooner or later he's going to run out. The prosperity of fools will destroy him. This homeless guy is a fool, obviously, because he burnt his bridges. So if you have family, living family, you should never go homeless, ever. Because, unless the Lord told you to, you should never have to be homeless if you are a hardworking, wise person. I understand, okay, you're hardworking, yet they're not paying you right. You got family. But a fool, okay, the fool will be like, I don't need you, and then you end up burning your bridges. So now when you do need them, they don't want to help you. So that classifies you as a fool because you made a decision in the past that's hurting you now. But you give the prosperity of fools will destroy him. You give that sinner over there a position in the church, he's going to show himself a fool. Verse 33, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. So if you listen to wisdom, if you hearken unto wisdom, if you obey, you're going to be safe. You're going to dwell safely and you will be quiet from fear of evil. So you're not going to fear evil. You're not going to fear evil because you're a smart person. You're wise. You don't have to look forward to that. So that's chapter 1 of Proverbs, day 1. I'm going to post this on YouTube for my YouTubers. And every now and then I may do videos separately for YouTube and not Instagram, because my YouTubers are going to get different things from the Instagrammers. If you do want what's being given out, you can go and subscribe if you want to. So that's the word of the Lord today. I most likely will be back later, maybe on here, maybe on YouTube, who knows. I do love you guys, And God willing, we will start chapter 2 tomorrow. God willing. God willing. God willing. We will pick up where we left off with chapter 2 tomorrow. I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow.